Thank you everybody for having me this morning. One of the topics I wanted to cover today was how to boost your occupancy with Airbnb, and I will also cover some of the latest updates that we just announced this week. Our head of hosting just announced this week. Let me start with that. Um, and let me see. And so this is our quick agenda. We have roughly 30 minutes, so hopefully I can cover some of these topics pretty quickly and then get to Q&A if you have any questions. First of all, let me start by introducing myself. I'm David. I'm based in Singapore. I'm part of the connectivity partnerships team, and I oversee partners in APAC. And we also have Ting An on the Zoom. Ting An is our Star Account Manager, and she covers Southeast Asia, Hong Kong, Taiwan for Airbnb. And so just wanted to start, and Jaden introduced the topic for me actually in terms of Airbnb and where we started. And so we started in 2007, and Brian and Joe, who are founders, they're designers, and basically they just started with an idea of wanting to host travelers during this design conference that was happening in San Francisco. Basically, all of the hotels were busy, were at capacity, and they said, well, we still want to be able to let other people come to the conference and be able to experience it. So they opened up their home, they allowed people to stay in their air mattresses, and that was the start of that business. So this was the way the first Airbnb website looked like, very basic. The reason why I wanted to share this is I do think there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the audience, and really just wanted to share the their entrepreneurship story that Airbnb really is. It really just started with an idea from two people, and then it really has grown into what it is today, which basically today on Airbnb, we have over 7 million listings, 7 million homes around the world. And basically, we cover over 100,000 cities, 220 countries. So the growth has been just incredible in the past 12 years. And we're looking forward to having you as hosts help us continue growing that community around the world. So let me start with just talking about what we all are facing on a day-to-day basis, which is COVID, right? And just wanted to share some of the trends that we're seeing in terms of travel. And so we're seeing that a lot of people want nearby stays. So of course, with international travel restrictions in place, guests are not traveling too far because they can't, or because actually they still want to get away, but they feel more comfortable traveling around where they live. So they're traveling to nearby destinations. The other thing that we're seeing is that because of all the uncertainty and because things can change very quickly, people want to book something, but they also are looking very actively at having flexible cancellation policies because they don't know if plans will change. What we're seeing, and it's very interesting, is that we are seeing longer stays. We historically had seen that people would travel and then they would stay for a weekend or maybe extended for a long weekend. But now we're really seeing a lot of use cases, what we call use cases, where people actually travel for a longer period of time, either because they need to adhere to some quarantine, or it's people, they're just traveling to be closer to family and they want to stay longer. And other cases, we're seeing people actually renting Airbnbs to be able to work from home. Sometimes people's apartments or homes are not easy for working, and they are renting Airbnbs to go there and basically create a home office or create an office that people in their neighborhood can also go to. And then finally, one of the things that we're seeing is that a lot of people are really keen on safety and cleanliness. So cleanliness is one of our top searched amenities on Airbnb. And so now I wanted to just walk through three different initiatives that Airbnb is doing to tackle with this trends that we're seeing. So Go Near is our first initiative, and what Go Near means is we're really focused on helping travelers still experience travel, but by not going that far away, right? So it's basically pushing more for domestic travel, pushing for local, authentic experiences, right? And if you look at the site now, we've really redesigned it to focus on how we are seeing customers want to travel. So as I mentioned before, we are focusing on this domestic travel, and so that's what this Go Near campaign is. And then we also are pushing for monthly stays. If people want to look for monthly stays, there's a very easy way to get into that. Or if people want to find a place to work, or if they just want to get away with their families, but they don't want to go into a hotel or a place where there's too many people, we have homes where they're perfect for families to go. We also have created this new search filter. And so now, because people want to be able to have flexibility into their travel planning, we have now launched a functionality to be able to search by cancellation policy. So this is one of the features that's now on the site. And then also in terms of weekly and monthly discounts, we now make it a lot easier for people to look for these type of promotions. And so I would say one of the things that you as a host could do to try to capture more of those bookings is changing or implementing your weekly and monthly discounts. And you can do all this through HostPlatform's interface. Right? So you can basically check your availability setting and then increase and remove your max length of stays. And then you can also put a discount associated with, if you're for a weekly stay, you can offer a 10%, 15%, whatever you feel comfortable. Or for a monthly stay, you can offer a deeper discount. We've seen some hosts offer up to like 40% discounts on a monthly basis, and that really helps them fill out calendars when they want to have some certainty about guests going for longer periods. So actually, let me just stop there and just see if there's any questions so far. If there's any questions, feel free to use the chat to send in any questions, or otherwise you can wait for the Q&A section afterwards. But now let me talk about the COVID-19 safety practices. And this is actually an initiative that we've been tackling since COVID started, but we've just updated our practices this week. And there was a big message that our head of hosting, Catherine Powell, she just launched this week. And so there's a lot of information that I can share here, but then information that you can see on the site through our resource center. So first of all, I wanted to say cleanliness is one of the most searched amenities that customers have right now. And on Airbnb, we actually kicked off a program called Enhanced Cleaning Protocol. We launched that in June, and it was a program that basically we designed with experts all around the world, and to come up with different standards, or actually to come up with one standard that different hosts could apply across the world, and even across different types of accommodations for homes and for hotels, so that we would share best practices on how to clean. This program launched in June already has 1.5 million listings enrolled, and so it's been really successful. On top of not just being able to get this badge that you see on the site, what we have seen is that the listings that have adhere to the protocol and get the badge get 3 times more bookings than other bookings that don't have the badge. So this is clearly one indication that guests are really keen on finding listings that are specifically cleaned and sanitized in a way that is in line with global protocols. So this enhanced cleaning program has been endorsed by the Malaysian Medical Association, and it follows all the guidelines from the Malaysian Medical Association, and then also the World Health Organization and the World Travel and Tourism Council. So it's a protocol that we believe it's very strong in terms of very strong and simple in terms of what are the steps that each host can take to make sure that their units are ready to take guests and they can stay with peace of mind that they've been cleaned properly. So let me introduce to you what we're now calling the 5-step enhanced cleaning process. And so this was just announced this week. Basically, going forward, we will be asking all hosts to agree to 3 commitments. And the 3 commitments are all hosts and guests will be asked to agree to wear masks. We will be also asking hosts and guests to social distance when they're in the same space. And then what we ask you as host, existing host on the platform, is to go on the site and there will be a prompt on, if you go on the app or on the website, there will be a very easy way for you to basically look at the 5-step program and then agree that you will be implementing these practices for your cleanliness process going forward. So this enhancement on our website will launch on October 19th for all hosts. Actually, some of you might see it before. It is launching to a number of hosts on the 12th, progressively through the week, but on October 19th, everybody should be able to see it. And basically all hosts will have 1 month to complete this and before November 20th. So we know that many of you might just manage your entire rates and availability through HostPlatform. But one thing that we'll ask is that within the next month, basically before November 20th, that you go to Airbnb or log into your app of Airbnb and go through this attestation process so that you can see the cleaning process and give us your agreement and commitment that you will follow these steps. And so on this, more of that to come. So you will get an email with very easy links to follow, or simply you can go on our site or app by starting on November 19th and then completing it. And then one of the other things that you'll have access to is our cleaning handbook. And this is roughly a 35-page document. It's done very very nicely. Actually, it's a very simple document that goes into all the different steps in cleaning, and it also gives you checklists so that it makes it a lot easier for you and your teams to follow this cleanliness standards. And so I've left a link here. I will be sharing this presentation with Jaden and the group so that they can provide it to you, and you can have the links if you want to access to these documents. And then once you're done with the training and the attestation, there's things that you can do on your side of things so that basically you're telling your guests about your cleaning process. And so you can, of course, add details that you've cleaned your listing based on our 5-step program. You can actually refresh your pictures to show that your listing is now sparkling clean. And then as you're receiving guests, you can message them and just let them know and give them peace of mind that you've used some of these steps to clean your place. One other thing that we found very useful that has come from feedback from hosts is that they say they leave extra cleaning supplies for guests, and so that's something that that of course would be good. And one thing we do want to remind everybody is that we can't claim that, or actually hosts cannot claim that the listing is coronavirus free. All we can really do, or all hosts can really do, is claim that the listing has been cleaned, but there is really no guarantee that something is coronavirus free. So please try to avoid putting that type of message on your listing, because otherwise our trust team might flag your listing for this issue, and might even deactivate it until that issue is resolved. And so here I also include some language that you can include in your description. All of that information you can find in this link that I left down here, so that you can tell your guests about the cleaning process. So that's cleaning. I don't see any questions yet, so I'm going to keep on going. So the last update I have is Simplified Pricing. And Simplified Pricing is one of our big initiatives that we're doing in Q4 of 2020. And it's been an initiative that's come from feedback that we've gotten from both the guests and the hosts. On the guest side of things, many guests have raised their complaints that when they come to Airbnb, the pricing is not entirely easy to follow, because we add the service fees and then there's cleaning fees. And so what they see as the first price, it's not matching what they see at the end of the shopping, once you get to the payment page. So basically, one of the things we're trying to do is offer as much transparency to guests, so that the first price they see, it matches the last price that they will be paying. And then from the host perspective, we've heard that hosts are a bit frustrated sometimes, because when we add a guest fee, they don't have full control of how their listing is priced at. And our guest fee algorithm actually changes, and so it can add between 0% to 20%, right? And so it makes it very hard for hosts to manage their rates if they're not just listing on Airbnb, and if they're using other channels. It makes it even more complex, because you have to price in a certain way on Airbnb and then price in a different way on other channels. So we really heard that feedback from our hosts, and that's why we're implementing this change. And so let me just give you more details about what the change is. And so the change is for all software connected hosts. Basically, this is the new pricing structure. So today we have two pricing structures. One is a split fee pricing, and that means that hosts pay 3%, and then guests will pay between 0 and 20% of the rates that the host sets. And then we have this other model called host-only fee pricing, and that is basically the entire service fee is covered by the host. So it's a 15% service fee, and that's covered by the host. There is no guest fee. And so what we have seen is host-only fee is the model where it allows the host a lot more control, and gives guests a lot of transparency in terms of what will be the final price that they will be paying. So after December 7th, the split fee pricing will no longer be available. So if for most of the hosts, actually for what I've seen is that most of the hosts are still in split fee pricing. That pricing is going away after December 7th, and everybody will be moved to host-only fee. And host-only fee will be set at 15%. And so what that means is that we will be deducting 15% host service fee from all bookings that happen after, and sorry, the slide should say December 7th. And so that is how we will be rolling out this change. So it's roughly 2 months from now where this change will happen. And so we wanted to give hosts a lot of time for them to think about how they're looking at pricing, and then adjust their pricing the way that you're comfortable. And so let me share a few more things. This is what, if you look at the guest experience, this is what the split fee structure looks like on the left, where basically, I guess we'd see $100, but then we will be adding this service fee later, and then they'll end up paying 115. And then in the host-only fee structure, basically service fee will be now 0, and then the price will be the same, and it will be very transparent to the guests what they will be paying at the end. Now, we do know that this has some implications in terms of your take home. So I do have a calculator to show you in a few slides so that you can see what the implications are. And then just running through a few of these slides quickly, the benefits of this are basically, as I mentioned, it makes it more appealing for guests. Prices are consistent. You are in control of your pricing. It's not Airbnb adding this algorithmic service fee or guest fee to your rates. And basically, we've seen that it for hosts that are doing a very accurate pricing strategy, this actually gives them more control. And then it's a lot easier to manage in terms of if there are any amendments or refunds. Instead of taking it both from the guest and host, this just makes it very straightforward because now it's only the host amendments that we need to resolve, right? And one of the good things that we've seen from this change is that when we ran this, when we rolled out this change in Europe, the hosts on average saw a 17% increase in bookings. And a lot of that is because the pricing that they were showing on Airbnb was not competitive versus other channels. And then once you have the same pricing structure, the hosts saw a big jump in bookings from adopting this change. And then I do have a couple of testimonials here. I know we're running out of time, so let me skip through some of this. But these are just some feedback that we're hearing from our hosts. I did want to take a few minutes to just cover this this calculator to make sure that you're understanding the impact. So in the scenario one, where you see split fee, this is let's take this example where the host sets up a price of $100. So what happens today is we set a guest fee, and I put in $14.20 because that's our average guest fee that we charge. And then so at the end of the day, the guest pays $114.20. So your price was 100, they end up paying 114. We take out a service fee of $3 from you, and then the payout would be $97. So that would be what you would take. If after December 7th, you choose not to change your rates, this is what will happen. Basically, your rates that you show on the site will remain the same. So it'll be $100. There will be no guest fee. And then the guest fee will pay $100. And we will deduct $15 from your as a host service fee, and then your payout will be $85. So one thing for you to understand and really look at is your pricing strategy. This is just one scenario where we said, okay, if a host wants to make sure that the take home is the same, so $96.90, roughly the same as $97, that would be your take home as the scenario one. You would have to increase your rates to 114. There will be no service fee, and then the guest would pay 114, which is the same that they would pay today, right? So, and then your service fee will be $17.10, and then that's the host payout that you will get. So this is something for you to consider. And of course, what we want to see is to make sure that you're setting your rates at the level that you're comfortable, that where you're getting the right right return, and make sure that that you're aware of this change, because as of December 7th, if you make no changes, scenario 2 will be what you will experience. Okay. I see some questions, and I think I covered these questions through this scenario slide. Cleaning fees. Cleaning fees are not included in here, so cleaning fees would be on top of this. And then let me just finish off by just showing you, if you want to switch earlier than December 7th, we have a screenshot here where it shows you how to do it on our site. And so I will be sharing this this deck, and you can get those details later. And sorry, I know we're at time, so just wanted to finish off by saying, if you have any additional questions, please go to our resource center and help center. There's a lot of information online in different languages, so you can get access to that. You can always, if you have issues with cancellations, reviews, reservations, if you need immediate assistance, this is the number you can call in Malaysia. You can also use our site, airbnb.com/contact, and then it gives you access to paying us. And then we also have a webinar coming up in October. You have the information here. I'll be sharing the presentation, so you can use this link to RSVP and get more details on some of the changes that we've talked about today and other features that our team will be sharing, including Tingan, who's on the call. And then just to finally wrap it up, these are the steps that we wanted to summarize. So update your listings to receive more domestic travelers. A few things to do here. Then promote your cleanliness. So after October 19th, go into Airbnb and make sure that you accept the five-step cleaning process, and then review your pricing structure in preparation for simplified pricing, which will be rolling out on December 7th. And that's all I have.